Yes?
So do an intro. You do an intro.
I do not have an intro. Okay, guys, I want to make sure you finish writing this part, internal sources for established company. Okay, there are 3 of them. Can you quickly read out for me?
Retained of profits, sales of assets, better working capital.
I think we've got a question last time. Some people asked me about the first one because you don't know the meaning of it. Is it? Is actually from this class. Okay, we'll go look into each one of them. How do you define a retained profit? Yes.
It's money that the owners, the business have like kept, and they can like reinvest it into the business.
How do they keep it? Where is the money from so they can keep it?
It's from like income of the business.
Income? Is that the word? Profit.
Yeah. Like
So cash in, cash out, and then total what?
Revenue.
Profit equals what? Total revenue minus total costs, right? So we have cash in, we have cash out, and the rest we call that profit. Okay. Not all those profits are actually retained. Some profits you will lose it in other things. Okay, you can't control. But the rest of the profit we call this retained profit because all retained profit will go into where? Go into your company. It's cash in. Okay? We want to make sure you have retained profit to run your business on a daily basis for operations. Okay. There are a few. What I'll do, I'll display the advantage and disadvantage of retained profit for established company. There is also a definition in there. Profit kept within the business from profit for the year to help finance future activities. Okay, so this is a definition, and you've got 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages. Taking notes is another skill we want to learn. You don't need to write down every single word. Okay, if you really know this, you don't have to write down. For what I'll do, I'll quickly write down a few dot points, some keywords to remind me what's the meaning of that. What's the meaning of this word? I haven't seen this word very often.
Like reduces.
Reduce.
It doesn't reduce the ownership.
So then, like when you issue shares, you lose control.
You mean
issue shares, and you'll lose part of the business.
Okay.
User retained profits doesn't. That you don't lose any control.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Unforeseen situations. What type of things you can't predict in a established company that will happen?
Recession.
Yep. External environment, recession, financial crisis. What else? Strike. Yes. You know, one thing's really funny because we are in a Commonwealth Western country. We can do strikes. We can go on strikes. But in Asian cultures, we're talking about international business. Okay. They think their labor is like really low, the cost. So they think it's not fair. Why we're doing the same job, but people in Western country, in the same company, they get paid much higher. Okay. So do you think these people working in this culture, they can go on strikes?
No.
Why not?
Because they'll just get fired.
Nope. No, the company has the same policy for this. Okay, I mean, if you're working in the same company in some countries in Asia and then the same company in the UK, people in the UK they can go on strike, but people in these countries they can't.
They don't have as much money to support them if they don't get paid.
But that's not the main reason they can't go on strike. They can still go. Losing 1 day's salary, they can still survive. It's from higher up. It's the government regulations. Okay. Some Asian countries even, you go on strikes, you go to jail. Okay. They can sentence you for some reasons like you're just a bad influence in our society. We have to ground you. Okay. all these ridiculous reasons, so people in Asian countries, they don't go on strike, but people in here, you are free to do that because you have the trade union at the back of, support. They're behind you to support you, okay?
So, I don't know if this is on topic, but why are there riots in China right now?
That's in Hong Kong.
Yeah, why?
That's a long story. Okay, another one. Internal source of finance. Sale of assets.
Oh, like Tesco sells their land.
Yes. Because they need money. They need money actually pretty soon.
Aren't they like rich though?
Well, as a customer, you don't know. They feel the company is going through all this. Okay. The reason Tesco is trying to sell their land for profit, this is their fixed assets. But why do they sell it? Do you guys realize how many stores and shops they have in the UK in total? Well, they have to sell 41 or 49, I forgot the number. They need to sell the land of 49 of their shops to have this retained profit so they can keep running, which means this 40 something shops, they're losing money. Do you feel like Tesco is actually suffering? Not really. When they have this immediate injection of cash from the land sale, they can put the money into other aspects of their operations. Okay. Now, people saying, why don't Tesco increase their price? Because they're selling land. They should keep their shops, but then they increase the price of the products. Why can't they do this? First of all, for you, think about this. When you talk about Tesco, the first impression of their brand image is they have cheaper products, right? If they increase their price, they will actually position themselves into a different market. Okay? Now they have a bunch of competitors with lower price range products. But if they increase the price, they will enter to a different competitive market with different competitors. They have to put in a lot of cash to be able to tackle all these problems. And their brand image will change from your perspective. Because you might don't want to go there anymore because the price increased. Okay? So they want to have the immediate cash into their company. They don't want to test other markets, increase the price to see how customers react and all that. That's too long. What do all these companies have in common?
Tesco. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. So all these brands, they are sold in Tesco for the past 3 years.
Is
Okay?
Tesco like the Disney of the
So
shopping?
Tesco own them?
Tesco didn't own them, but they actually sell their products in their shops.
I really think they exist.
Guys, do you guys want to play Mario Kart?
I think it's a really
Mario
good idea
Kart,
because, like,
Let's play Mario Kart.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah,
Because I saw people playing that on your phone, right?
Yeah.
First of all, it's free.
Yeah.
And then you can also play with other people if you know their
Yeah.
username.
Yeah.
Duncan, can you define sale of assets?
Come on,
Selling items properly owned by the.
Okay.
that's good.
Well, can you give me like 1 or 2 examples of a fixed asset?
Land and
Good, did you all hear that? Land, surplus equipment. We also use this example here. They're trying to sell their
Oh
land
no.
for immediate cash injection. Okay. Next one. Do you guys still remember what's a working capital? Day-to-day cost, running the day-to-day business, right? Okay, now we want to reduce. Hey boys, books out, phones away. Duncan, what's going on? Okay. This is the last source of finance for established company. Okay. We want to reduce working capital to achieve what? More profit. Yes. Now we know the definition of working capital is actually the cost. We're running the company on a daily basis, like day-to-day operation cost. Okay. How do we reduce working capital? As I said to you, which cost is the most expensive one in the company? Labor cost, right? This is one way we can actually reduce our working capital. Also, we can try to reduce the price of raw materials and find a cheaper supplier. Okay? And what can we also do? We can also try to find a better way to offer customer service, but in a cheaper way. Okay. Now, let's please write down this dot point at the bottom here. Okay. So we want to realize in each company, actually, a lot of money is actually wasted in what? We order too much stock. Okay, and trade debtors. The problem is, as I told you, I think in this class, at the first lesson, I said, will never have an accurate forecast. The number will never be accurate. Yes, in this class, right? So forecast is just a rough idea in the future, what we're looking at in the future, but it's never going to be accurate. So that's why always in a company, waste. For example, even in the school, okay? At September, we have a new term starting. So we actually order all these notebooks for you, okay? We don't know how many people actually pick business. So when we put in the order for these books, do we try to order more or less? More. Of course, we always want to order more to make sure we have enough. But the problem is, yeah. Because we do not have accurate forecast of the number. Yes? That's a big problem here. Okay, one more. We often have to negotiate and pay people later. How does that work? You have a supplier, you say, we've been working together for a while, okay? The next order I placed from you, can we actually have, can I pay you by the end of the month? Can I pay you quarterly? Can I pay you every 6 months? Because we have that partnership already. You trust me, I trust you. Okay? So we are trying to delay paying out money to other people. Even for employees' salary in the UK, you get paid every 4 weeks, is it? Yeah. Right? So basically, you're working for the company for a month already in advance. Every company is already doing this. I thought you already know. Yes, because every 4 weeks you get paid in the UK. But they don't pay you like every day you worked. But if you're doing hourly rate, they still calculate the total hours you have every month. Right? They don't pay you like on site as soon as you've done your job. They don't pay you on site because they try to delay the payment. So they have more cash to put into the operation every day. Now, in Australia, we had an argument there. We reckon 4 weeks is too long. Some people, they are depending on their salaries. So we change our law to every fortnight. Okay? So in Australia, you get paid every 2 weeks. The company doesn't like this idea, but the employees like it. Why?
Because they get paid soon.
You know, like, people actually, if you depend on your pay entirely, okay, if you wait for 4 weeks, you really need to plan your budget ahead. Otherwise, you're not getting the money after 4 weeks. It's really hard for some people. But if you get paid 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, it's easier for you to plan your finance, okay? But for companies, they don't like this idea because it costs a lot of money to use the pay system nowadays. And also administration fee associated with the payday It's a lot. We have payroll officer, we have accountant, we have business manager. Every 2 weeks, they need to do this. Like if we have like maybe 200 employees in the company, they have to do the whole thing every 2 weeks. Okay, the cost is really high. If they do every month, the cost will be lower.
So in businesses, do people who deal with money pay themselves? Or?
Yes. Well, let me tell you, the finance department and HR department are the only two departments they can see everybody's salary. But how do you monitor their own salary?
There's a higher up.
There will be a higher up person who is only looking after those group of people. Okay? And if they actually disclose other people's salary to other people in a company, they break their
Confidentiality.
yes. They can't do that. That's part of their ethical conduct or code of conduct in their profession as an HR or finance people. Okay? Well, just one thing. Do you feel like it's appropriate to ask people's salary at work?
No.
Never do that.
I think it's dumb.
No. If you want to tell other people voluntarily, and I would listen, but yeah, true. If you feel I want to tell everyone my salary, that's fine, I'll listen. But I never ask. We are trying to avoid any conflicts. For example, I realize even in a company, even in the same department, even the same position, you get paid differently. But you don't want to find out. Either you're depressed or you feel like, oh, that you actually upset the other person.
But if you find out, wouldn't you be able to go to the boss?
See, that's the
and ask
conflicts
why?
arise.
I'd still want to know. To make
Well-
sure I'm not getting cheated.
Well, okay, now, we are working in the same position, right? In the same department. But I get paid higher than you, and you found out. You go to your manager, try to argue with the manager why we're doing the same job, but he gets paid more, okay? They will give you a standard answer. So we actually judge your, qualification, like experience. We give you the package salary based on each case.
Okay, but like, what if I was more experienced than you, but I still got less?
How do you know you're more experienced than me? Do you know my working background?
Maybe
Exactly.
No. How do you know like which company I worked at, what I did before, and how many years experience I have? You actually did an investigation on me.
Maybe I do.
No, you wouldn't be able to find out. And I could easily tell you, well, I can bring in more things to the company that you can't. But you don't know. Okay? And one thing you have to realize, some people are really good at interviews. They can talk. Okay? But they fake it. They can still talk. Yeah. Okay. That's working capital.